In the last episode, we saw how God through Moses gave a pattern of a tabernacle in which he would personally dwell among his children. The children of Israel had to worship God in this tabernacle. We saw how the Lord appeared at the tent of the tabernacle in a pillar of cloud and stood over the entrance to the tent. We saw how Moses could not enter the tent of the meeting because the cloud had settled on it and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. In this episode, we will see if the tabernacle represented something greater. The tabernacle was a portable structure which the children of Israel, more specifically the Levite tribe, carried throughout their journeys in the wilderness. God gave specific instructions to Moses on how they were supposed to build the tabernacle. In Exodus chapter 25, we read, God commanded Moses to make the tabernacle and all its furnishings exactly like the pattern he will show Moses. Hebrews chapter 8 says, the Levites serve at a sanctuary that is a copy and a shadow of what is in heaven. This is why Moses was warned when he was about to build the tabernacle, see to it that you make everything according to the pattern shown to you on the mountain. By this we understand that the earthly tabernacle was a copy or a pattern of the heavenly tabernacle. The same Hebrew writer talking about Christ's death and finished work in Hebrews chapter 9 says, but when Christ came as a high priest of the good things that are now already here, he went through the greater and the more perfect tabernacle that is not made with human hands. That is to say, is not part of this creation. Christ did not enter by the means of the blood of goats and calves, but he entered the most holy place once for all by his own blood, thus obtaining eternal redemption. Verse 24 in the same chapter says, for Christ did not enter a sanctuary made with human hands, that was only a copy of the true one. He entered heaven itself, now to appear for us in God's presence. The above passage says that Christ appeared in God's presence on our behalf. He did not enter by the means of the blood of goats and calves, but he entered the most holy place once for all by his own blood and obtained eternal redemption for us. Christ entered the tabernacle in heaven, not made with human hands, the tabernacle which was not part of this creation. It is interesting to note that no one could enter the tabernacle or the presence of God except through the one gate that faced east. There are many theories on why this gate faced east. One being, the Garden of Eden was located on the east. Another says that after driving man out of the garden, God placed the cherubim on the east side of the garden. Yet another says that the Lord Jesus will physically descend on the Mount of Olives, which is east of Jerusalem. Also in the future temple, in the book of Ezekiel, the Lord will enter the future temple from the east gate. It's going to be an interesting study. We will look at all these scriptures in our next episode. We will also look at why there was only one entrance to the tabernacle. Hope this study has been a blessing to you. The same Lord who dwelt in the tabernacle desires to dwell in his people even today. May the Lord richly bless you.